The Northern Territory government will have the country's toughest alcohol laws after a new liquor bill passed the parliament. Matt Cunningham joins me now live from Darwin. Matt, talk us through how these laws will actually work in not just licensed venues but supermarkets as well.
That's right, Tom. There's 70 recommendations from an independent review into alcohol policy in the Northern Territory that was done by the former Chief Justice Trevor Riley that have now been adopted by the Northern Territory government. Now, these include a risk-based licensing system. That means that a licensee will be penalised in the future if they're caught doing the wrong thing. They'll have to pay a higher licensing fee. At the moment, there's just a $200 fee that applies across the board. That new risk-based licensing scheme could see a licensed premises pay up to $10,000 for their liquor licence. There'll also, as you alluded there, be new rules for mixed businesses like supermarkets. They'll only be able to make 25% of their profits through the sale of alcohol. Now, the government's already brought in tough crackdowns on the sale of takeaway alcohol. They include a banned drinker register, which means that everyone has to show ID before they purchase any takeaway alcohol, and if they're caught doing the wrong thing while drinking, they're placed on that register. They can no longer buy alcohol. They've also introduced a floor price, a minimum floor price for any alcohol sale. I spoke to the Attorney-General, Natasha Files, this morning. She says that the government's tough alcohol laws are already starting to have an impact.
We have seen in Central Australia, in Alice Springs, that alcohol-related police protective custodies have dropped dramatically from around 3,500 to 700. We've also seen, in terms of hospital emergency department alcohol-related presentations, drop significantly. Territory-wide, around 24%, but we've also seen significant drops in Central Australia and also in Katherine.
Now, Tom, not everyone is buying the government's lines here. In fact, the former Chief Minister, now independent MLA, Terry Mills, he took me for a walk this morning through Bennett Park. It's a park that's right next to Parliament House here in Darwin, to show what he said was evidence that the government's alcohol policies were not working. He said that you could still find people roaming the streets drinking alcohol at all times of the day, and that's exactly what we found in Bennett Park this morning. He said rather than cracking down on alcohol policies and those businesses who are selling alcohol, the government really needs to be looking at a breakdown in society that he says is occurring here in the Northern Territory. Here's a bit of what Terry Mills had to say.
This is so misguided that they've increased the price of alcohol, caused responsible people to show their ID and demonised alcohol as the problem, while turning away from the real problem and failing to ask real questions. And I reckon the community would reward us if we took a more honest approach with alcohol.
The government, Tom, is sticking to its guns. It says that something needs to be done about the issue of alcohol abuse in the Northern Territory. Whether or not that's going to be a vote winner, well, we'll find out in about 12 months' time when the people here in the Northern Territory go to the polls.